that's me. We've moved.
I got told to sit on this chair. I don't know why.
Oh.
I got to sit on the chair. Get off the cold bench, they said, sit on a comfortable chair. Okay, so yeah, Robert. So can you tell me something about your mum's side of the family, because that's where the connection is between us two. His mother was tall as well, because that makes sense to me, because all my mum's side of the family was tall.
Yeah, they are, yes.
Tall people.
Well, I know your mum was, yeah.
And my Uncle Peter was nearly 7 foot. Okay, so let's just tune into him. Yeah, he showed me some gold, like sovereigns.
Okay.
Because I had a pretty packet, and one time when I opened, he had some gold sovereigns, so I don't know where they went to in the family, but obviously I'm way too far back to anything to come to me.
Very windy outside.
Yes, wind.
Was that?
I'm glad we got here in time. He had a really good life, but he died quite young. He was only 50 when he died. And he told me, sorry, I'll stop a minute. I don't know, I'm coughing, it must be dust in everything. And he's telling me that his heart gave in because his size, you know, it was all too much pressure. And he lived a high life, you know, he did have food, drinks, and he loved being on show. People might have thought that was a cruel thing in them days, but that weren't to him, you know, cruel thing to put people on show in the barn, and like, he said, but it weren't. He said that was exciting, and to come from little old Norfolk and become this big famous person, he said that was really good. He really enjoyed that. And when he came back towards the end of his life, and he went to, I think he died in Yarmouth, he's telling me. He didn't actually die in West Somerton. He died in Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, I think you're right, yes. Yes.
That's what he's telling me.
Yeah.
His heart gave out. It's just simple as that, because his size was so big for his frame.
And he met Queen Victoria, didn't he, Tina?
Yes, he did meet Queen Victoria. Tell me about Queen Victoria. Tell me what she was like. Both of them together. That's what they said. Both of them and Prince Albert. And a lot of other dignitaries as well. He said he was bricking himself. Bricking himself. He said she's very sort of calm, sort of like solemn lady. That's what he's saying. But and Albert was, you know, sort of like overwhelmed at seeing this big man, you know. But she took it all in her stride like it's an everyday thing, because she was queen. She was quite a very demure person. That's what it said. She's demure, but yeah. And he said I drank champagne. Yeah, that's when he went. Oh, he said I was drinking champagne to him, because coming from something so not lowly. I wouldn't say it was lowly, but you know, sort of like little out back in Norfolk, to go on to London and drink champagne with the King and the Queen of England. That was quite something for him. He's very close to one of his sisters, I think it's called Anne. They used to do something together. They used to go on a show together. Yeah. Because she was quite tall as well. That's what he's saying. Anne, so I think she's the one who's buried beside him.
Right.
Because Lasky's, I think, was her married name. She got married to someone else called
Right, so that was his sister.
Yeah, so Hales.
Grave, for sure.
She wouldn't have been Hales anymore, so she's been married now.
Yes, yeah.
See, good confirmation there. Okay. So your grandfather was my great-great-great-great-grandfather, that's right, yeah. So his grandfather, Thomas Dybel, his mother's father, and his mother died really young as well. She died in her 40s. She died from complications of her size as well, I think.
And why did he come back to England after America?
There's another adventure for him to go to in England. So, you know, he loved America. He could have stayed there all the time, but he came back to England because there's another adventure. Also, I think he got married again in England. But there's another show thing he's going to want.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Entertainment, that's what he told me, an entertainment.
Was it the same show that he was in?
Not with Barnum, no.
It was another show?
No, that was in London. So, that was a show in London. That's what he's telling me.
Can you tell me what it was? Because I've got a name in my head, but...
No, something about a theatre.
Okay.
Well, whatever you got in your head, I can't.
Well, I wondered if it was the Crystal Palace, because wasn't that around the Victorian era?
Yes, that could have been the Crystal Palace, yeah. Because I'm just seeing as big as a theatre place.
Okay, keep with that one then.
And he was on stage with the other people like him, but it wasn't as good as it was in America.
Right.
People flocked to him in America, but they didn't care to see him. And that sort of wound down. And he ended up in Great Yarmouth for some reason. But I think he was on a show in Yarmouth as well. You know, because they had shows there. Like, dare I say it, I don't even want to say the word, but FREAK shows.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And that's where he died. He had a heart attack, his heart gave out. He had pneumonia in his lungs and his heart gave out. That's what he looked at me. He had pneumonia and then my heart gave out. Okay. Because it couldn't pump all this oxygen around his big body. Because he was getting bigger and bigger.
And would it be fair to say that he was towards the end of his career then, wasn't he?
Yes, I mean, he died at 50, so it could have gone on, but his body...
Did he have any kids, Tina?
Yes, he did have some children. Yes, he did, but he didn't see him grow up.
Oh.
So I don't know why that
Was that in America, or was that in
I think that was in America with not a bearded lady, but someone was in the same show.
Right.
I'm getting the name Jean or something like that. Jeanette? That's what he's telling me anyway.
And that was the mother of his children. Did he have just one child, or?
No, I think he had a set of twins. Or two children.
Okay.
I see two boys.
Okay.
I think they might be twins or very close to, in birth. But I don't know if he had any in England. He said, I probably have got a lot of children.
Yes, I was going to say, because it's showbiz, doesn't it? All works hand in hand.
Yeah. He said, but the ladies who we went had to be, they were tall ladies, they had to be sort of physically matched, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
Although he had an affair with this woman. She was, this is the mother of his children. I don't think they even got married. She was obsessed with him and his, that's what it was. She used to be obsessed with him. But it didn't last anyway, and so the children in America. So I'll have to look for another tree if I want to find all them, because they probably would be under the name Hales. But how would you find it?
No.
You just wouldn't. He did get married again. Yes, he did get married again in England. Yeah, he came back and got married again.
The door just opened to the church, so...
You should film that.
Huh?
He said, you're safe. He said, don't worry, you're safe. He's in the church. He said, don't worry, you're safe.
Yeah, oh yes. It's just the wind blew the door open.
Yeah,
Carry on.
Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to tell us? Any messages? He said, find the link and go down on your family tree and you'll find the rest of my story, You have to go down because I was looking at his mum and up. I need to go down from him and down.
Yeah.
So that probably would be registered on Ancestry. He said, you'll find lots more about me and my family. And because even though William, his father,
Yes.
is not blood related to me, he's still my great-great-granddad, if you understand.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, in marriage.
And did he have a good life?
Yes, he had a wonderful life. He said, but I did get ill towards the end, but breathing problems. I felt pneumonia was on his lungs. He caught pneumonia because of his body, it's too big and a lot of oxygen was needed to pump around his body because he was a really big man. He wasn't just tall, he was big. He was like a giant, if you know what I mean. In portion.
Yeah, proportion, yeah.
In proportion, but really big. I mean, some people are just tall, but this man's tall and wide,
Yeah.
Bless his heart. He said, I'm so grateful.
And then what about his naval career then? We realised he wanted to be a sailor, didn't he?
Yes, that was his dream because of being there Winterton, you see. And the port and that was his dream to be a sailor. But obviously he got too tall and he couldn't carry on. He was a danger to them.
A danger.
He was more of a danger to his crew because of his size. He couldn't get out, he couldn't move about, not like normal sailors could. Yeah, he did do some service on the sea. Yeah, he showed me. He did love the sea. But was born in the sea. Everybody's born in the sea, not the sea.
What did he like about America then? What was the thing that stuck out in his mind?
Everyone was so different. That you didn't see many poor people, not like you did in England. There's money flowing, you know, everything was about entertainment, you know, they had money to spend in America, they had more than they did in England, you know, because people just barely got through. But in America they seem to have much more money and much more entertainment driven. They want to have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He fitted in
circuses
with
and
that,
stuff
didn't
like
he?
that were all the rage. You know, shows, theatres, everything. It was all the rage.
Yes.
So America just had more expendable income.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the money was better. They were earning better than they were in England.
And is he trapped on this plane, Tina? Is he?
No, he's not trapped on the plane.
He just came back basically
Yeah,
he knew you were coming?
Yeah, just to come in and connect. Thank you so much. You said we knew you were coming.
I've got a question. Was East Somerton, the church, the myth about the church, the legend? What does he know?
The legend was there then, you know.
Yeah. What does he know of it though?
He just know the same legend, you know, as everyone do. It's just a witch was in the church or buried in the church and a wooden leg and all that, grew a tree. He said, but yeah, the tree was probably just a sapling then, maybe.
And did he ever go there himself?
Yes, we did when we were kids, yeah. We'd all go down there to frighten ourselves, pretend there's... Yes, they used to play games and stuff there. We said all this, this was our playfield.
And was it a ruin back then?
Yes.
And was there anything else attached to that church, that not just that witch, was there anything else?
Well, he said there were some sightings of a ghostly monk. There have been in history recorded as well saying that. Not just a witch, but some ghostly monks, but I actually did see something, didn't I? So.
Yeah. Well, I've not seen anything written about.
Yeah, well, let's not go back to there because we're heading.
Oh, I know. I just thought of the opportunity to have because he was around this time.
His mum's with him.
Sorry?
This woman who come in, Elizabeth. She's my great grandmother. Died young. She's a beautiful woman. She reminded me of my mum. She's got that blonde, long hair. Very sort of like graceful.
Yeah.
Person.
She just come in.
Yeah, she just come in with him. Say hello. So she should be buried here somewhere as well. So I'd like to find her grave if we can.
Is it with the other graves?
I couldn't see an Elizabeth. There was everything else apart from Elizabeth. She would have been Hales then. She was a Dival when she was born.
Yes. Yes.
She's coming to say hello, welcome to the family. Keep searching, you know. There's something else you've got to find out about the family too. So, that's interesting. She's telling me I've got to find out something, not just him. Bless his heart.
Give us a clue to what that might be then. What would that be?
What is that? She's saying it's a gift or some sort of bloodline. And she's just saying you've accumulated all the bloodline and you've got this magical gift, but that was coming from Martha. So I've got to find someone called Martha.
Is it Martha Hale? Is it?
No, it's not a Martha Hale.
It's just somebody in the family.
It's a Martha Dibble. Yeah. Or is it a Dibble? Or someone who married a Dibble. Her name was Martha. But she would be a Martha Dibble at her death, but she weren't born Martha Dibble.
And is that between where she was born, this Elizabeth, and where we are now? Is it in that time span?
No, it's around that time span.
Around hers?
Yeah.
Around the 18th
In the 1800s.
century?
Yeah.
A Martha?
Yeah, a Martha.
Okay.
She said you need to know, find about her because she had special...
Interesting. Gifts. She had special gifts.
Yeah. She said just like you have, it's accumulated. It's gone down the family and accumulated. She said my mum had it, but unfortunately my mum couldn't use it. Wow, thank you very much. Martha. I'm sure there is a Martha in the tree somewhere.
So that's your gift is something that comes to the surface at some point in each generation or every generation.
Well, I'm like the cataclysm for the ancestral pain, if you know what I mean. That's what they call it. Someone has to. In this day and age, there's one person in every family who's now a cataclysm for the whole family line.
Right.
And maybe yours. And is coming out to let go of that pain and suffering, because this woman Martha suffered for some reason. And Martha, a Jewish name maybe? I'm not sure. I think it is.
It is a Jewish name, yes.
I don't know why I said Jewish, to be honest.
I think it is.
I
Not
got
that
my
matters.
cold when I said that. Well, actually, it's...
And did Robert used to come to this? Oh,
Sorry, there's a coldness gone through me. It's okay. I don't know if someone knows, there's another spirit around in here, I think.
Okay.
I do think that. Because the coldness is like someone walking through you, cannot... Well, please leave me alone and I'll talk to you in a minute. Please leave me alone. Please. Leave me, please. Archangel Michael, can you protect me from any attachments, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe something to do with this mouth, I don't know, but... Okay. So, a message from Robert before we go, he just said, you will find it, Tina. It's what you're looking for, you will find it. So I don't know what that means.
no.
It's what you will find it. And Elizabeth's saying, yeah, just keep searching, because you've got a lot to find out. It's going to lead you somewhere.
Wow.
It's going to lead you somewhere special. She's just gone like that, and I just feel this light in. Okay, any messages at all for today? Yeah, you've got to open your eyes and see what's real and what's not real. So whether it's through humanity or just for me personally, people have got to open their eyes and see what is real. That's a critical point in time. That's a critical point in time. And see what is real, and then go for what is real, and not for what is not real. Wow. I don't know who it's...
Ooh.
Jim.
Huh?
So he said his name.
Yeah, there was
Jim is in his church.
a noise behind us to the right. Yeah, to my right.
Someone called Jim.
Okay.
Or James, he would have been. He's in this church. Okay. And it's cold, very cold.
Is this the cold spirit?
He's got the name Jim, just as they went. Jim, and then over there, and then that noise.
That noise was behind us.
Okay, Jim.
To the right, yeah.
Jim, are you Jim? Archangel Michael protect you from any negative attachments. And I must know that there's any souls that needs to be released, so I must not show fear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's better. That's better. Getting in there. It's lovely. Okay. Now, Jim, I feel like there's some sort of a vicar. I'm just seeing that sort of look, you know, but he's got a sort of like a baldish head, longish hair.
Yeah.
Sort of like there would have been around James' first time again, that sort of time. Sort of like a Puritan look. He's got a big white collar, got buckle shoes, but I feel like he's a rector, or whatever equivalent of a, you know, Puritan would have been. I'm sorry if I keep moving around, because I'm doing what I'm just following what he used to do. So the name is James, so they called him Jim. So I think about 1700s maybe.
Yeah.
Why aren't you gone over? Why are you here? He's hanging his head in shame. Something I did.
Clearly, Jen, you're mumbling.
I didn't practice what I should have done.
Ah.
I weren't being true to the Bible. Where this is going to go, Jim? What are you trying to tell me? He's got his head down and showing.
Sort of what?
His head is like this. He's hanging his head down like this, and he's walking like this up and down here, twiddling his thumbs, really worried about something. And I'm just going to get into what it is, because if you don't want to tell me, you don't want to tell me. But
And he was rector of this church?
I feel like he was a rector, or equivalent of a rector would have been. I'm not sure, vicar, rector, you know, some different names for him. But he looked really gaunt, you know, he's gaunt and thin, greasy hair, and
Have you got a surname for him, Tina?
I've got a surname for James, please. I've got Stone straight away, so imagine Stone.
Okay.
Or Stonehouse. Stonehouse? Stone? I've got Stone straight away. Something about Stone. See that sign over there? That's to do with Jewish people.
Okay, what underneath
The dollar, yeah.
Okay,
Looks like a dollar.
okay.
Okay. What did you do? What did you do? What's keeping you here? What's keeping you here, James? Jealousy. What jealousy of what? What are you jealous of? It seemed to really trouble for soul. Maybe he was a jealous person, and the jealousy that he had in his life was preventing him from going over. But I don't know what the jealousy is about. I feel like he's done something that he's not going to let me know about. What were you jealous of? What were you he's jealous of his flock. Or some of his flock. You know, the people who came here. And why? Why were you jealous? Because they were free, and I weren't. What do you mean by that? They could go, and they could go home, and they could do anything they want. They could make love, they could have a relationship and get married, blah, 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 but I weren't allowed to. So it made him sort of bitter and twisted, if you know what I mean.
So it wasn't really for him,
He
really?
loved God. Well, I say he loved God. His version of God. He thought he was doing the right thing, but I don't think he was very cut out for it at all. And he had a lot of inner turmoil. And he would have seen women as witches as well. Oh my God, I wonder if he's connected with that.
What era are you looking at? What sort of date?
Well, I said he looks like, I'm going 1600s again. 16 to 17.
And who was on the throne? Who would have been on the throne?
James, again.
First or second?
Second.
Ask him if he was aware again of East Somerton.
Of course he's aware of his something. Yes, of course he was. It's down the road. You know, he'd be in and out.
I know, so was he aware of what was going on there? The myth,
I think
the
this is
legend?
around the time that something happened, and do you know what? I might have to go back to East Somerton. Something happened. That's where the church suddenly became dilapidated. You know, stopped being used.
This is what I'm trying to
In
find out.
1700s, 1700s.
Does he know why it became abandoned?
Well, like use mostly. No one went in there.
Did he have anything to do with those witch trials?
I think he might have done, though he don't admit it. Okay, James. Would you like to go over to the light? Because I'm not going to force you. You can walk around here or do whatever you want. No, I can't possibly. I was not pure. I was not pure heart. I was not following Jesus. It's not pure heart. My heart was tormenting me.
Another knock there behind you this time, the right hand corner.
James Stewart. His name's not James Stewart. James Stewart was a king at the time, James Stewart. So that would be James first. James first. Or James the second, because all Stewarts. He'd done a lot of self-flagellation, a lot of forgive me, Lord, forgive me. I think he might have been involved in either that witch, Matilda, or just witch trials in general. I think it's part of that. And under the shield of this church, godly being, he thought he had the power to do exactly what he wanted, and he realises, he realised as soon as he died that what he did was evil, quite evil. And this is why, and this is why he wanders this church and ground. He might have some be actually having something to do with that.
Should we come back to him at another time when he might have...
Yeah. He's not going to go anywhere.
No.
Not at the
And
moment.
he's not ready to go anywhere.
He's going to be
either.
another James Sidney, Thomas Sidney, because he's told me bits. He's not evil though.
No.
But he's very remorseful and very. The energy is really like on the worm of the earth. You know?
Right.
Very low. So we'll have to find out in history. It must be recorded.
Okay.
What a lovely church.
It is a lovely church. There's
I will
another-
leave this energy in here. Thank you. I've got an urge.
Do you feel any other
I feel
spirits
like I should walk up there.
that might want to come through, Tina?
I hope this is not. Dearly beloved,
Yeah.
just to know you, we are gathered here today to bring together all spirits who have passed and needs letting go. We need to release them. The name Dennis.
Dennis.
Dennis, maybe first name, maybe last name. That's my family name, and it's my mum's name. But no, I think this is the first one. Dennis is not out here, no. Dennis is all Suffolk. I think this name Dennis sits in this church. Passed on, he's probably buried here, and he sits in this church, and you can sort of see him down that way with him. Just praying. Used to come in here all the time on his own, until he died. A very lonely person. So I don't feel he's a ghost or anything like that. I feel it's just an image of someone who used to come in here and pray all the time. And he's very lonely.
What era would this have been in?
Well, I'm getting 1800s up to early 1900s.
Okay.
That could be for a period of years, about 50 years. Lived locally. He never had no one in his life. Well, he did when he was young, obviously, but then in his adult life.
Now, what's his surname, Tina?
Smith.
Dennis Smith.
Dennis Smith. Bless him. He was married to a Dolores.
Do you have children?
No.
Okay.
She died. I think she might have died in childbirth or something. And from then on, that was it. He was on his own. She died young. She died really young.
And what did he do for a living?
Farmer. A farm hand. Worked on the land.
And he lived round here?
Yeah, he lived in the village. Suddenly, I'm seeing like a Viking or something like that, or an Anglo-Saxon, I'm going to talk about it. Sorry. Let me go here. I don't know why, but it's going to be a Hales. It's Hales and Hales. We'd have to find out some bit of history of this place. Because, was this a Saxon church?
Yes, it is. It's got a round tower.
Anglo-Saxons and stuff, yeah, in this corner, yeah. Put some touch on. Yeah, I'm seeing like, a time lapse.
Okay.
Anglo-Saxons. I think they're building it. Getting it ready. Because this isn't Anglo-Saxon, this bit isn't. It's more Norman, isn't it?
I couldn't say. It looks like it might be a Norman arch, this piece here, yeah. But the tower itself looks Saxon.
Yeah. So you can see, that's what I'm seeing, they're building it. Building this tower.
Right.
Okay, they're not. It's just a time lapse because I could see them. They were distracting me. Wow. Yes, well, I think I took enough energy
I
up for
think
a little
that's it for the moment, don't you, Tina?
Took a lot of energy up, down, but yeah, I'm really glad I saw my cousin, and not my cousin, my uncle, and this was my family. And this James, like, it's really in remorse, you know.
Yeah. That might be when we come back again, Tina. Might be able to reconnect with him. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there then. Yeah.
Got it all back.
Right.